Hello, hello. All right, looks like my audio is working. I don't know what happened. All right, now we should be good. Stream started and then OBS crashed. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, should be live on everything now. All right, okay. All right, let me pop out these chats. What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up, Red Samurai, Full Nelson, Matthew Ward? What's up? All right. I'm just popping out the chats. What is happening there? Okay, there we go. What's up? What's up, people? What's up? Make sure you're dual streaming if you can on Twitch and YouTube. I just finished my first ever 5-hour video, Matthew Ward. That's what I did. My first ever 5-hour video is up. If you can, if you want to watch that massive piece of work, but it's a full breakdown. I did day one, I did day two. I thought it was going to be 3 hours, but by the time I was done with it, and that's after editing out most of the ums and uhs and all of that, it still ended up being 5 hours and 9 minutes, I think. So very long, very long. What's up, Disarray? Much appreciated. Much appreciated, folks who are dual streaming. Looks like everything's working. We're getting better. We're getting to the point where we can start these things up, and they're not immediately destructive. However, we did crash immediately but that was OBS's fault. All right, let me get to these questions, and then I will answer the questions in the chat. Make sure if you're asking a question in the chat, make sure that you put question in front of it so that I can answer your question and I can pull it out of the chat. Also, if you can double stream, much appreciate the double stream on Twitch and on YouTube. Your phones, your tablets, etc. We also have to pick a winner for our contest. I should have did that on my last stream, but I forgot. All right, let me pull up these questions and then we can get into it. This stream today should be about an hour because I actually have a D&D game to get to. I don't know if I even told you guys I play D&D. I started about a year ago. It's actually extremely fun. I wish I would have started sooner because I would know more about what to do. If you haven't watched it yet, both day one and day two of my thoughts on CitizenCon are out. I kind of deep dive on everything. And for my Fix My Fleet is out at the Info Runners on the Info Runners channel. So if you were wondering what ships I have in my fleet, they've changed since we filmed that. We actually filmed that before CitizenCon. So yeah, but a lot of those larger ships have not changed. So if you want to know what my fleet looks like, there you go. And then, yeah, let's get these questions going. We're gonna do an hour today. I think we did 2 hours the last one. I think we could do an hour today. Um, in the future, I might start doing some streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if I do those will be kind of like random throughout the day. I'll just hop on and say what's up or whatever and do it for however long I have time to do it for. But the schedule will still always be Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Those are not going anywhere. All right, let's see if we had any questions because I think I only asked this I only asked it a few hours ago. So nope, we didn't have any questions. So it's all chat today. I love it. What's up, chat? We're doing an all chat stream. I love it. All right. First question I got is, did you find any mask? What do you mean by that, Matthew? What's up, Walker? Luco, Loomsai, Star Shifter, what's up? Damon Danielson, I see you. Question, how do I feel about skeleton crews? Skeleton crews. I think it depends on what we're talking about because skeletons crews on like a capital ship I feel very poorly about. But skeleton crews on like a large ship and below, I'm very positive about. So depends on how big the ship is. I think the bigger the ship is, the more you risk with a skeleton crew. But I think skeleton crews will work all the way up until large ships and maybe a few like subcaps, but I don't think most capitals, I don't think a skeleton crew is going to work. Either you're putting way too much on the line, it will work, but you're putting way too much on the line, or it won't work. Scorpio King 3 he said, just pick me. I still have to do the whole thing. I have to figure out if it's going to be a member that wins it or if it's going to be somebody from the community that wins it. Dirty Garden Gnome said, I've already watched the video. You already watched the 5-hour? Wow. I didn't think anybody would make it through the whole thing in the first day. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Question, have you changed your mind about the 600i Phoenix or Kraken after that Fix My Fleet? And when did that happen? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did that Fix My Fleet, I think, it was probably like a month before CitizenCon. It was within a month to 2 months before CitizenCon. I think I said when I did it, I have a video like, or maybe it was like one of my, maybe it was one of my streams. Maybe it was one of my very first streams where I was talking about when I did it. But there's evidence of when I did it somewhere on the internets. But I think it was a month. It was anywhere between a month to 2 months before CitizenCon, and it was very fun. It was very fun. X and Al are they're some genuinely hilarious human beings. So, yeah. And then I met them at CitizenCon too. So we hung out a lot at CitizenCon actually. There was this funny thing that happened where, well, it was funny, and then it was part of it was funny and part of it wasn't funny. We were all in line. We were in the premium ticket line. Well, there was a general line and then there's a premium ticket line. And the people who were hosting the event didn't know that there was supposed to be premium ticket and general ticket separated on the second day. On the first day, they had it together, but whoever was running it the second day, they didn't know. And obviously people show up super early so they could be first in line because I think the first 3 people in line get, like, they win a ship or something like that. And so they put everybody in the general line. And when I walked up, because I had been there the previous day and I just knew where to go, I wasn't just following the crowd because I'm Billionaire Ninjas. We don't follow the crowd here. That's what we do. Yeah, I just walked to the premium line. And so as I was walking through the little thing to get to the front of the premium line, that's when the person came out and was like, hey, I don't know what happened, but all of you who are in the general line, if you're a premium ticket holder, you're supposed to be over here. And so there was this mad dash to come over to the premium ticket line, but I ended up at the front of the line because all the people that were there were in the general ticket line. And they were there the day before, so they already knew. I don't know what happened. It's like if somebody tells you, like, it's like if you're standing if you're standing on a bridge and somebody says, you know, there's water down there, and then you look down and there's just concrete. It's like, don't jump. Like, you shouldn't jump anyway. It's a bridge, right? But like, I'm just saying, like, if you know the right thing, don't let people tell you the wrong thing and then follow that just because other people are doing it. But anyway, long story short, I was at the front of the line. I was like near the front of the line. I was like 10th maybe from the front. And because I let people come over because I didn't want to just like take the first spot because I didn't earn that. You know, somebody had been waiting longer than me. And so I was standing back, and then I guess the info runners were in the general line, and they went inside and they complained because, like, duh, like, why this is a massive mistake that you just made, because some people have been waiting there since 4 a.m. I came at like 6 a.m. So yeah, you can imagine the frustration because, you know, people want to be first in line. And then I guess they went to the back of the line after you know, making their complaint, which is a genuine complaint. They went to the back of the line, and then one of the people came out and got them and put them near the front of the line, and there were a bunch of people that were upset about it, but they had been there. So it's not like they didn't earn their spot in the front. It was just somebody was restoring the balance, you know. And yeah, that was funny because there was a guy who was like, "No, I was here since 4 a.m." And Execute was like, "Hey, we don't want to get in front of anybody who wasn't here before us. Like, we don't. If you were here before us, you know, get in front of it. You know, it wasn't that big a deal." But the dude was like freaking out, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness." But hey, you got to make sure your event staff know what's up. Oh, yeah, you said I didn't even answer your question. I just went into story time. Have you changed your mind about the 600i Phoenix or Kraken? Yes, I have changed my mind about the Phoenix. So the Phoenix, I am gonna get one, but because I can't get it with LTI, I'm gonna see if I might end up getting one off the gray market, because that's the only way I'll want one now, is if I can get one with LTI. So I'll see if I can get one off the gray market. If I can't, then I'll probably just get an Andromeda or something and upgrade it or something to, I don't know, an Andromeda. I'll probably get a different constellation, and then I'll just have to earn the Phoenix in game, because that pack that I bought, it has some good things in it, and I do think it's a pretty good pack to get. It's just, I really was only buying it for the skin and the Phoenix. So all the extra stuff was extra stuff. I did really like that P72. I did think that was really cool. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I really should just focus on getting the larger ships. So the Kraken, I might try to get one this I have enough money for the Kraken, like, in the game already. I have credits saved for the Kraken. So that's the main goal. That's the main goal for IAE. We'll see if I can get one using my strategy. There's people that were upset at me for sharing my strategy of how to get ships. I don't know why. I mean, it's pretty much just common sense of just make sure that you're on time. Yeah. What's up, Ubo? I see you. All right, what else we got? Day of the Vara mask. I think I already have all the masks. I'm pretty sure I have all the masks. I either bought them or I found them last year, or I bought them this. Did I buy any this year? I think I have them all though, so I'm not. I didn't do any of the events except the code thing this year, because I was finishing up all the ships. technically I have no longer reviewed all the ships. I have 2 more to go now. Well, I got to do the Star Lancers and the construction vehicle, or the Argo vehicles, and then I'll be caught back up again. And then, of course, when IAE hits, I'll have like 3 or 4 more to do. Uh, but yeah, those will be out this week. What's today? Tuesday. Yeah, those should be out before the end of the week. Just so people can have a chance. I already gave my scores, like my preliminary scores. If you are like, hey, I want to know whether, if you were waiting on my review to purchase one, which I don't suggest you do. I suggest you do your own research. Like I'm happy to be a part of your research, but I do not suggest that you wait for my video before you purchase something, because I may be on schedule, I may not be. I'm trying to be better about being on schedule. So I had 8 hours worth of video content that I just put out for the day 1 and day 2 breakdown. That's part of why it's taken me so long to do these reviews. But it should be now, from now on, I shouldn't have any like super long form content. My buyer's guide for IAE will be pretty long, but those are a little bit different. Those are like an hour long. Yeah, so I'll do a few buyer's guides. I'll probably do a buyer's guide every day that IAE is going. And then, of course, I'll review ships. But I should be able to review every ship now within like a week of it coming out, now that I don't have a huge backlog of ships. So, let's see. Question. Still thinking about the Kraken base versus privateer? Nope, I've already made my decision. I know which one I'm getting. Question, do you think Arastra or Pioneer? The Arastra or Pioneer will go on sale later this month during the sale. Yeah, yeah. Every ship should be on sale when IAE hits. Starshifter asks, with the PTU 3.24.3 coming back, with the IAE stuff in it, do you think we might see the Polaris? Or do you think they'll wait until the 22nd? I think it'll come out I think it'll come out on whatever day is RSI day. So I don't think it'll just be like first day. It might go on sale the first day, but I'm not certain about that. I would assume that they would wait until Polaris Day to sell it. I think it'll be available to use the first day of IAE. But they might make a thing of it and make it whatever day IAE does RSI. So, yeah. But it'll definitely be for sale, and it'll definitely be available at IAE. Oh, you said not the 5 hour to fix my fleet. Yeah. Yeah, the 5 hour is a beast. So I will break those up at some point. Right now, I got to focus on getting those ship reviews done. But I will go through and break those up, and I'll put some timestamps and stuff. Feel free if you guys want to go and put timestamps on it while you're watching it. I don't expect you guys to do that. That's my job. But like, I finally have time to put timestamps. That's not like most of the reason I haven't put timestamps on most of my videos are because I just never have the time. Like, it's like I have to go to the next video. But now that all the ships are reviewed, yeah. It's a wonderful life. Oh, let's see what else we got for questions. Yeah, if you see the 2 hour one, no, there should be a 3 hour one. There should be a 3 hour video, Scorpio King. There should be a 3 hour, and then there should be a 5 hour. The first day 1 is 3 hours exactly. But I was gonna try to do some like magical timing with the second one, but after, I think it took me 8 hours to make that video, like a full work day just to make the video. And then all the like, glitches and hassles I had. And then finally, just to edit it, it took me like another 6 hours just to edit it. And that was just to remove 3 hours worth of garbage, whether it's like me drinking or eating or whatever. and I had to remove all of that stuff, and times when I left. So yeah, and it still ended up being 5 hours after 6 hours of editing. So that's what it is. Do I think they will add the F8C for sale? Yes. Still think you're going to need a golden ticket. I would start asking people for the golden ticket now because there's going to be a flood of people asking when IAE hits. So if you don't have a golden ticket, start asking now. Go into the Discord and ask some people. I know for a fact that some of the people on my Discord have golden tickets and they're willing to give them to people. So go check that out. Meat salad at work. What's up? Thanks for the double stream, folks. Thanks for the double stream on Twitch. Much appreciated. Let's see what else we got. If you're just joining, I did say on Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to start streaming, but those will be kind of random streams, so those won't be scheduled. I'll still do my Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday routine, but on Mondays and Thursdays, maybe a few Fridays, we'll see. I'll just do some random streams. They'll be I'll just pop on, see who's available, see who hops on with me, and then I'll go for as long as I can go, and then I'll hop off. Because I know there's some people who are like, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, those are the only days I can't hop on, and I'm like, all right, I got something for everybody. All right, let's see. What do we got? All right, we're trying to do a 1-hour stream today. So we're only 25 minutes in, so we're doing good. I have a 10-year buyback for a Phoenix. Okay, that's what's up. I mean, I would take a 10-year. I would take a 10-year Phoenix. I just don't want a 6-month, 24-month, none of that. ETL in space says you owe me an intermission. Yeah, I will cut I'll cut that video down. I didn't think when I was doing it that would have made a lot of sense actually, to do hey, you've been sitting here for 2.5 hours. Here's a break. Then come back in 15 minutes for the next 2.5 hours. I've never done a 5-hour video before. That was my first one. And it wasn't supposed to be 5 hours. It's supposed to be 3 hours. It was supposed to be one 3-hour video and then another 3-hour video. But I really got into talking about base building. Well, because you watched it. But I got super into talking about base building. I went down some rabbit holes. But that's what I think long form content is for. That's why I did the whole 5-hour thing. For people who are interested in the deep dive and the whole conversation. Much appreciated, though, for watching the whole thing. A fleet spread out between subcap and smaller caps with a greater overall capability, or a smaller fleet focused around a capital with less capability overall but a greater ability. I don't know what you mean by ability. Or I think, are you separating ability and capability? I'm always going to say capital ship. I'd rather have one capital ship with a bunch of smaller ships than a bunch of sub-capitals. Because capital ships those are goals in the game for a lot of people. So my goal is to actually own as many capital ships before the game starts as possible. Even if I have to start melting some of these smaller ships, just because now that I know in order to build capital ships, your org pretty much has to do it. By the way, well, actually, I'll say that after. But now that I know that, basically my goal is now I want to get the ships, I might end up with an Idris now, because even though I don't particularly want, I don't need an Idris because of all the other ships I have, but I might end up with one just because I just feel like I'm going to end up getting that Praetorian pack. And at some point, Not anytime soon, but in the next 2 or 3 years, I might end up like, you know, getting some of the ships swapped over to a Praetorian pack. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, there's just certain. I think the larger the ship, the better, because now we know in order to get a capital ship, you're gonna have to build a space station, and that's how you're gonna get them in game. And if you don't have an org that's big enough or can like keep it together long enough until you get a space station, it's gonna be very difficult. So yeah, I would say get your cap ships now. Because I know there's a lot of people, you know, over the past few years that have been like, oh, I'm just going to earn that one in game. And I'm like, I never thought it would be easy to earn it in game. And I don't think most people thought it would be easy to earn it in game. But I don't think people thought it would be locked behind org gameplay. And maybe there are other ways to earn it. I'm not saying that's the only way. I'm just saying like, I didn't expect that. But speaking of org gameplay, I have officially been kicked out of my org. Well, my org. It wasn't my org. The org I was a part of, I got kicked out of because I had to. I started my own org. I just wanted to like secure the name, but it turns out in order to secure the name, you have to set a leader, and the leader has to be fully a part of the org. They can't be an affiliate or anything like that. So I had to switch my account to be the leader of the org, obviously. And so I had to put that org as an affiliate. And they have a thing where they do not allow you to be in any other org. So when they saw that, boop, they booted me out. And that's okay. I expected that. I don't want any special treatment. Yeah, that's your rules for your org. Go for it. But my org, Billionaire Ninjas, it is not currently accepting applications. There's only one member, and it's me. But because of CitizenCon, I think I had anticipated launching an org maybe like next year or something, maybe right after next year's CitizenCon. But now I might do it next summer. It would be. I want to start a website and all this stuff, and it will be an application process. It won't just be like everybody join. Maybe I'll start a secondary like org that's just like a social org, but like my primary org will have an application system, and it'll be a little harder to get into. There's no way to pay your way in or anything like that. I mean, I'll tell you what, if you give me like 100K, you can automatically get in. 100K real American dollars. There you go. Boom. That's the price. That's the only way to pay to get into my org. No, there's no way to get into org except going through the whole process. I'm going to interview everybody personally. I want the org to be, my goals with the org are really to be, there's going to be shifts, right? So my org is going to try to have at least one person on all the time. And it's going to be very difficult to do, obviously. But I would like to have at least one person from the org always on the game. Which is why we wouldn't launch until we had at least like 150 people, or, well, maybe not 150. Some large number of people in the org. And I would like to at least always have one person on, and yeah, and obviously there would be shifts and people would be on call and stuff like that. Yeah, I want it to be a kind of a serious org. So that's why I think I'm going to have two. I'm going to have Billionaire Ninjas, and then I'll have like a secondary org that I haven't thought of a name for yet. And then I'll just have both of those orgs as, I'll have both of those orgs running. One will be social that everybody can join, and that'll be like the one where like if I'm streaming or something and people just want to hop on. And that one will pretty much be like, you know, it'll be probably it'll be limited to. It won't just be like everybody, I guess, but it'll be, you know, you have to complete 5 steps or something like that, and then you can join the org just to keep bots and stuff out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's bots that work like that, but in the future there will be, I'm sure. But yeah, that's kind of my org plans. You heard it here first, folks. Let's see what else. Ironclad available at IAE? I do not think so. I think it'll be available next IAE. I think that's when it'll actually go on sale. Damon Danielson says he has 8 golden tickets for folks who need one. I mean, I don't. Well, you didn't say you were giving them away, so I don't want to volunteer you. Do you think they will have a consolidated Outland complete pack this year? I think they need a few more ships. There's only what six ships. I mean, I'm counting variants. There's not that many. But I would like to see a complete pack. An LTI complete pack, to be more specific. Prowler rework. I know something about the Prowler that I can't tell people. But if you love the Prowler, stay tuned. This is why I'm always going to CitizenCon every year. The amount of, like, I'll say this. I will say that. Oh wait, why am I all blurry now? What happened? Oh, okay. I will say that the amount of information I gained. Let's say when I arrived at CitizenCon, I knew. Let's just for the sake of putting a number to it. Let's say I knew 50% of all possible information to do with CitizenCon. When I arrived at CitizenCon, I knew 50% of all things. Now, with the conversations I had with developers, I would know 75%. That's how much I learned just from going to CitizenCon and talking directly to developers. I'm not saying that those are the exact numbers. Like, I'm not saying that's my actual knowledge. I'm just saying that would be the difference in the knowledge I had before going to CitizenCon and the knowledge I have now. I learned so much. And then, like, I definitely overheard conversations. Sometimes it wasn't developers telling me stuff. It was developers telling other people stuff. And then sometimes it was developers telling me stuff. And, you know, some of it, they were like, hey, don't tell anybody this or whatever. And I plan to keep that. You know, I don't want to betray anybody's trust. And then other stuff, they were just kind of like, well, this is why we're doing this. And so that stuff, I would never say like who said what or anything like that. I just got it locked up here. I didn't record anybody's conversations or anything. So if you're watching CIG, I didn't, I don't have you on tape. You know, I wasn't secretly recording anything, but I learned so much that there's no way I can't go to every single one from now on and just learn as much as I can. Because I have follow-up questions now that CitizenCon is over. I have so many questions, and then I'll definitely have questions after the next one. So, yeah. Why do I want a Phoenix so bad now? I've always wanted a Phoenix. I've always wanted. I had a Phoenix. I only took it out of my fleet for Kraken reasons. It would still be in my fleet if I didn't. If I already had a Kraken. Um, my biggest issue with the Phoenix is that I don't think it should be a hull limited ship. I think it should be a limited ship. I don't think it'd be a hull limited ship. And I also think you should be able to CCU to it because it's a very weird spot to have a ship that's hull limited. I just think that's weird. If you get an Idris, just make an org. Idris, just make an org myself, and probably the rest of your Discord will join. Oh yeah, um, that's probably gonna be more likely that somebody who's part of the org will have an Idris. So I don't necessarily need to own one. That's why like some of these ships are like the last ships that I'll buy, right? So like if I come into some credits, if I have like a whole bunch of ships that I know I can melt and get one or something like that, like that's the only way I would get one. Cause like at this point, my ships either have 10-year insurance or LTI, or I'm not really, I don't want it. Um, And right now, I think I only have one ship that has less than LTI. And that's my Pioneer because I literally didn't have enough money to purchase it the first year it was available. So that's the only one I have that's less than LTI. I have 10-year insurance on that one. So I'm not particularly worried. I think 10-year insurance is just about as good as LTI. But yeah, those are the only two insurances I would accept right now. Would the Pioneer be a good capital to focus a fleet around if I'm planning on staying around a small to medium-sized org, 10 to 25? Absolutely. You're going to need, what? I think it went up to 14. From what I saw, it looked like there was 12 beds in the Pioneer, in the new version of the Pioneer. I'm not 100% sure. I said this in my 5-hour video, but I was looking at it looked like there were 6 beds on this side and then maybe 6 beds on the other side. And if there's 12 beds, then it's probably 12 crew. You're going to need a lot of people to run that. You get the Pioneer, you're going to need something to protect the Pioneer immediately. You're probably going to need something like I would say I wouldn't go any smaller than a Perseus, but a Polaris would be like a singular protective ship. But yeah, you could go, thinking of crew limitations, right? You could go Perseus and Hammerhead to protect it. Assuming you're dependent on your org for protection. Maybe you could just get a Polaris and then like some smaller ships, because that might be a more, like, money-wise and people-wise, that might make more sense. You put a F8C inside of the, or no, not a F8C. You put a Scorpius, I would say, yeah, Scorpius 2-seater, yeah. Put a Scorpius inside that hangar with a few like Furies and stuff, and then you should be able to take most stuff. I mean, you're gonna need, because the Perseus will be able to handle most everything, unless you get attacked by a capital ship. But you're probably not at that level. Capital ships shouldn't be aiming at you. They should be aiming for larger groups. But yeah, I think Pioneer is one of my favorite ships, so I may be a little bit biased when it comes to that. But yeah, 100K said 100K is a lot. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to buy your way into an org that's based on applications, you got to pay up. Damon, don't worry. Send in the application as soon as they go in. As soon as they go in. Billionaire pirates. Maybe that's what I should do. My old org didn't allow me to do pirate stuff. Maybe my second org will be pirate stuff. But I'm not particularly interested in like only being a pirate. I might do pirate things with my friends, But I'm not gonna I don't have any interest in like holding people up for their money. I think it's just, for me at least, that's not fun. For me, I'd much rather just go make my own money. Like, the gameplay is fun. I think my pirate things would just be more like killing players that like piss me off, or stealing stuff. Like, yeah, it would be like stealing stuff, like stealing people's ships, stuff like that. It would be like interesting stuff to me. Maybe some FPS stuff. Like I might do some FPS zones that are built for it, but I don't have a lot of interest in pirate stuff. Illegal stuff, yes. Not so much. Illegal in-game stuff. Twitch, YouTube. Illegal in-game stuff is what I have interest in. Broke ninjas? Not quite. I wish I was broke, because then I'd have less problems, because more money, more problems. Trillionaire ninjas for the other one? I like that. Yeah, Damon Danielson said they got eight tickets, and they're willing to give them away. So go to the there you go. Looks like people are already hooking it up. Nice. The Guardian at IAE. I hope it. I think it'll be out at IAE. I think most of the ships they didn't finish outside of the Legionnaire will be at IAE. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people were upset that I gave out. I think people are like kind of gatekeeping the way that they get ships because, obviously that helps them get more ships because they know how to get a ship. If you know how to do the F5 wars, technically you're keeping people out by doing it. But if you know how to do it, chances are you're going to get it because most people that are trying to get a ship, they don't know how to get it. And most people aren't even trying to get those things. There's not a million people that are signing up right now to get a Kraken privateer. That thing is $2,000. Like, there's not a lot of people who are signing up for that. So like some of these you don't have to worry about. Like an Idris, yeah, I think a lot of people want Idris, but even still, you can get an Idris for like the first minute that it's available, so you don't even have to have the best tactics. The Kraken, same thing. Well, I don't know about the Kraken. I haven't tried to get the Kraken yet. The Kraken privateer for sure. I know last year there was a bunch of Kraken privateers left, and then same thing with the Javelin. You got about a minute to get those, but if you know what you're doing, you'll get it within that minute. You'll at least get it in your cart, and then you can get it at the next because they do 3 rounds every day. You can at least get it in your cart and then have everything prepped. So all you got to do is hit the button when the next one goes live. So yeah, there's ways to do it, and I don't see why people would be upset. Bugfang, thanks for the dual stream. Lone Star, you just saw the Fix My Fleet. It was their longest Fix My Fleet ever, and according to X, it was their longest episode ever. Now I don't know if that's true, but I know it was definitely their longest Fix My Fleet ever. Yeah, that was really fun. It was really fun to do. Especially, I don't know if you guys noticed. If you go and watch it, if you haven't watched it, or you can even rewatch it, notice how little that they had to say about my fleet. Like, it wasn't until we got to the end that they had a lot to say, but I already knew that because I had smaller ships and I already know their policy on smaller ships. But if you pay attention, like the first 15 ships, they had no notes, basically. It was crazy. I was very like, whoa, like I thought they would have a lot more to say. But yeah, it was I mean, when I've been watching those guys for a while, so it made sense that they wouldn't have that many notes because I've been following and I think they give solid advice. So it's pretty cool. How to use the Endeavor for pirating? Well, it's gonna have uh, the ability to store drugs and stuff, and I think it'll be a great smuggling ship because of how large it's gonna be. There's things you can do. Let's see. Oh yeah, they did say something about my ironclad. I think. I think. Oh, thanks ETL and Spades for the bits. Much appreciated. Yeah, I just finished looking at the YouTube chat. I'm on Twitch now. I'm going through the Twitch chat. Um, yeah, the the ironclad thing I think is it depends on your take on what the ironclad is for. So like I already have a bunch of cargo ships. Like I have ships that can do cargo at pretty much every level, 100 SCU, 200, 300, 400 all the way up. So for me, like I don't need the base ironclad, but I mean you could argue for having both of them. But I just don't see me personally needing the base ironclad right now. If it was a ship I would get, I would get it a lot later. Like I would get an Idris before I got a base ironclad because I already have an ironclad assault. And like I said, I'll just pop an Atlas inside of the base ironclad, and now I got a tractor beam. So, like I feel like I don't need the base ironclad, but I respect people who bought both because I can see a need for both. But me personally, I don't need it. But I have 20 something ships. I think I have like 22 ships. Oh, my bad. You asked about am I playing a campaign or is the DM making up their own? The DM made up their own, but I do have. This is about D&D stuff. If you want to know what I'm talking about, the D&D that I play, they made up theirs, but I did buy the Eve of Ruin, which is the Vecna, and I will be running that campaign. It'll be my first campaign, which is probably not a good idea because it's like I'm pretty sure that thing goes up to like level 20, so probably not the best idea to run as your first DM campaign. But hey, this is what we do, Billionaire Ninjas. We jump into the fire. My first time making a YouTube channel, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna review every ship in Star Citizen, and then 389 videos later. This is what we do. Let's see. In a cost versus benefit comparison, C8R versus Terrapin. They both have one tier 3 bed. I think the Terrapin is going to have a tier 1 bed. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but I think the medical Terrapin is going to have a tier 1 bed because of the price. There's no way I'm buying a tier 2. Like me personally, I'm going to get the Terrapin anyway, so let me counteract this. It does not make sense to purchase a one tier 2 bed inside of a Terrapin for $220 when you can step up $30 and get a Apollo that can have 2 tier 1 beds inside of it. It wouldn't make sense. Like, it literally wouldn't make sense. But a tier 1 bed with a bunch of armor absolutely makes sense. Like, I could see them doing a tier 1, and maybe, maybe what they could do is like, they could say, well, we have a tier 1 and then we have a tier 2 that's cheaper. Like, if you get the tier 2 variant, it's cheaper and the tier 1 is more expensive. I don't know. It makes sense for it to have a tier 1. We need a ship that just has one tier 1 bed in it, and that's its sole purpose and its sole existence is to have a tier 1 bed. The same way we need one with the tier 2. I don't think, like right now, you have to go all the way up to like subcapital, large and subcapital to get a tier 2 bed, and I don't think that makes sense. I think we need small ships that just have one tier 2 bed, one tier 1 bed, and we already got the tier 3s, and we even got 2 tier 3s in the Cutlass Red. So I think we need another ship that can have 2 tier 2s, and and then everything else I think is pretty much filled by the Apollo, the Galaxy, or the Endeavor, obviously, if you want the whole hospital. What's up, Arcane? Space Marine, what's up? Thanks, folks, for the dual streams. You are always appreciated. I appreciate the dual streaming. If you're not dual streaming, you can try it. It's fun, I hear, because you can skip ads on one and continue watching on the other. Let's see. What else we got? Bando Calrissian. I love that name. By the way, that's my government name at the bottom there. So I'm not just calling myself Lando because of Star Wars. That's my actual name. Which, it's funny, growing up, before I saw Star Wars, I did not like my name. Orlando is it's such a name that I think it's a unique name. I did like that it was unique, but I didn't like it as a name. And then I saw Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back is when Lando makes his first appearance. And I was like, oh yeah, we got a great name. We got a great one. Thank you, Starshifter, for the double stream. What's up, Great War Mage? You said you thought that was an embarrassing requirement. Are you, Lady Space Patrol? Were you talking about the? Are you talking about the requirement of you can only be in one org? Is that what you were talking about? My group is just Discord based. RSI org function is meaning. Yeah, yeah. I think right now, if you're starting an org now, it's just to like see who will be in the org, not so much like to do org operations. However, one thing I did take from my old org is that you definitely should have a training regimen for people who join your org, and it should be a requirement to pass certain trainings to go up in ranks in the org. That's one thing I definitely we will be taking from that org. That's one thing they were really good at. Thanks, legitimate leader. I think I talked to you on when you were watching that one. Much appreciated. If you all make it through that 5-hour video, much appreciated. At some point, I will break it down. It won't be anytime soon, but I will break it down and chop it up and re-upload just the chopped up parts. But yeah. Yeah, I think the Phoenix thing is weird. What's up, Ace and Brink? Pirate org? We can hunt pirates? I like that one. What's up, Meat Salad? No broke ninjas. Since so many capitals are getting medical, should the Endeavor have a single medical bed on it without the hospital wing? Oh, absolutely not. Endeavor has to be a full hospital because they've already promised that it's going to have a full hospital wing. I already saw at least 6 beds on that thing. At least 6. I think actually no, it might have been 12. I got to go look at it again, but yeah, I think the single medical bed thing should be for smaller ships that are like more focused, right? So like I could see the tier 1 bed being in the Terrapin, and then like a tier 2 bed being in something a little cheaper, like a $180 ship or something like that. And then we already got, tier 3s and a bunch of other things. I get upset when you run off to CitizenCon and leave those of us who enjoy your personalized content hanging out to dry. We ain't letting you go next year. You have to stay here and experience it with us. So, to be fair, I did not intend to leave you all hanging dry while I went to CitizenCon. I had every intention of streaming while I was there, but then it turns out that I needed a new phone. Like my phone, I broke my phone, and so I need to get a new one before I can start streaming in other countries. I had never been to Manchester, so I didn't have I didn't know what I was gonna need or what I was gonna do. It was my first time ever using an eSIM, so it was a mess. I spent most of the time just trying to make sure my internet was working. So yeah, it was a mess. But unless the next one is in Germany, then I should be able to stream everything from now on going to CitizenCon. And another reason I couldn't stream is because I had this gigantic camera that I'm looking at you through, and I was lugging that thing around. And if I hadn't taken that camera, I would have been able to just selfie stick the whole thing. So yeah, I learned a lot of lessons. Like I said, I'm going to go to every CitizenCon now just so I can, figure out more to it. Igloo Anonymous, see you later. Why do anything small? Ninjas take the leap. I like that. Talk is cheap. Ninjas leap. That's the motto. What's up, Space Marine? What's up, Hermes? Is that Hermes? Or is that Hermes? Because I've heard it both ways. We have some piracy activities in my org from time to time. Yeah. Excuses, excuses. Hermes. Hermes? Oh, wait. Wait, did I say it? Hermes? Or is it Hermes? It looks like you're saying Hermes. Is it number 2? Number 1 is Hermes. Number 2 is Hermes. All right. Going back to YouTube real quick. Where are we at? We're coming up on 1 hour, so get your questions in now. I'll try to answer all of them, but I do have to hop off so I can go to I have to eat some food too. I hear that my wife's cooking is very, very good, and I often don't eat it because I am streaming for you all. Let's see. Let's see. If you are going to go look at the Fix My Fleet does look different from that. I will do another fleet video after IAE. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of finger typing to do because I'm rethinking some things about my fleet perspective. So there is a big chunk of my fleet is still going to be from that video though. I think we might be able to fly the Polaris in one of these upcoming updates. I'm not able to purchase it though. Much appreciated. You watch both the videos, the 5 hour and the info runners? I love it. You know, I do hope it is in North America. I think doing 2 overseas would be, I think they should swap. I think it should go 1 here, 1 there, 1 here, 1 there. And I think they do Gamescom in Germany. So to me, it would make more sense actually to do 2 here and then hop back over to Manchester. Like for every 2 that they do here. And I think Montreal should start getting a CitizenCon. I think Montreal would be actually the best location for the next one. And then I think the one after that should be Austin. And then after that, then they should hop back over and do Frankfurt. And then come back, do LA again. Where's their other office? That's it, right? Is that all the offices? Austin, LA, Manchester, Frankfurt, Montreal. Yeah, that's all of them. So yeah, then after they do LA, then they go back to Manchester. And I think that's a good cycle to keep. You know, you do Manchester, Montreal, Austin, Frankfurt, LA, Manchester. Like, that's a good cycle, I think. Oh yeah, they should do one in China, but I don't think they should do one in China anytime soon. I think the one in China should be like after we get 1.0. Like it should be like 4 or 5 years away. Before they do another one in Manchester though, they should do one in China. I do think that would be really cool to do one in China. However, geopolitical relations may not allow them to do a CitizenCon in China because you have to understand that a lot of people that would want to go to that CitizenCon would not be able to go to that CitizenCon. So it may not be a whole CitizenCon. It may just be like a super big bar citizen there. Just like politics-wise, sometimes doing things in China are not like it's very difficult to get into China sometimes. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. Much appreciation for the dual stream. You know, people keep telling me that that CIG needs money. I think that's overwrought. I think they have plenty of money, and I think this IAE is about to prove it. There's going to be a lot of people that buy the Polaris, and they're going to sell out of the Pioneer immediately. Like, yeah. And now that they've talked about their insurance thing, I think it's inevitable. But yeah, let's get ready to raid, folks. I got to get up out of here. I'm 2 minutes over, but I was 2 minutes late, so that's okay. But yeah, let's raid somebody, folks. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Who we raiding, folks? Let's do Loken Plays. We're raiding Loken Plays. All right. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great night. Let's raid.